not in the session.
Everybody to tonight's session of JINX Super2 V8 Supercars at Oran Park. Yes, Oran Park doesn't actually exist anymore. I think it's now a housing development area, but once a glorified track on the Australian calendar. And joining us tonight to bring you all the action is Ed Foster and Dave Douglas. Welcome, boys.
Thank you very much. Oran Park, you are quite correct. No longer exists. It has fallen victim to that great Australian tradition of tearing up racetracks and putting houses on them. But we do still have it. We've still got it here in the digital world at the very least. So we can still remember it. We can still drive it as it was. And these guys are going to be driving around it tonight, obviously, to see who is going to be the winner this week.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this one. Nice, tight, undulated circuit. So, it's going to be good, I think.
Well, no better time for sim racing than at the moment with the virus going around. We've got the online V8 Supercar Series bringing a lot of attention to online V8 racing at the moment. Even Max Verstappen joining in tomorrow night in the main event. So these guys tonight, what you're seeing tonight is some good action in some pretty tricky times, and no better way to spend your Tuesday evening than watching some of Australia's best up-and-coming drivers get around this circuit, boys.
Absolutely. So looking forward to 36-lap race tonight. It's going to be. So we're going to be able to run through the starting grid for you very, very shortly. We've only got a little way to go, just a few seconds left to go in practice. The cars are going to be gridding up.
Yeah, it's going to be a good battle tonight. We've got Jamie Davis and the normal boys are probably going to be in there and thereabouts. I think we're going to get a grid now, so I'll let you run through that now, Edward.
All right, no problems at all. So we've got cars pulling up on the grid, getting ready to go, and it is Joshua Thomas once again starting off pole. And we're going to have Kobe Jones starting there in second place, joining him on the front row. James Ruwalt there in third, Bailey Bell fourth, John Schultz in fifth, Alex Court lining up in sixth place. Then we got Brody Scott and Daniel Hedderscheid, seventh and eighth, David Coleman and Mark Duggan, Tyson McAvoy and Jamie Davis, Darren Caldwell and Josh Morgan, long way down for him, 14th. Simon Chadwick, Lassus Leonage making the top split this week as well. Kai Sloggett, Tony Gaffer, Michael Whiting down there in 19th, Paul Warwick, Stephen Griffiths, Matthew Kidd, Jonathan Ben, Benjamin Siren, Chris Barnes, Riley Curtis, Aaron Gilbert, Adam Neal, Hayden Harrison, Marty Hanson, Wayne Taylor, Ben Morris, Wade Michael, Brian Cooper, Stephen Christensen, Alexander Newton, and Robert Dennis, rounding out your field of 38 drivers.
So it's going to be a hectic start here, boys. Famous, this track, for what was one of Australia's biggest accidents off the start line of V8 Supercar race when we saw a huge fireball explosion. So we'll see what happens here. Obviously, turn one, as we got the green lights, and we're away we go.
Oh, Josh Thomas goes defensive straight away down to the inside of the track here. It's going to be interesting for this first kink, cold tyres. We'll see if everyone makes it through.
Oh no!
It's Jones off. It's Jones off. He didn't make it very far, unfortunately, from his front row starting position. He's down there in the fence, which has given Josh Thomas a nice little gap away there. And, of course, we've had another car just slot in. Bailey Bell, that is, just slotted in front of James Ruwalt off the start. So he's going to take control of that second place. And then, of course, we've got Ruwalt, Court, Scott, Daniel Hedderscheid, and John Schultz, and the rest of them all looping over that famous bridge.
A shame for Kobe there, brought into the series, was in qualifying only 1/10 off Josh Thomas. Looks like
got a car upside down on the background.
Oh no,
the bridge.
He's on his roof.
Just going for a replay here, thanks to dripping graphics.
Oh.
So it looks like, there's contact. He's been turned straight hard into the fence there, off the bumper. I'm not sure it was off the bumper, but he just went into the tyre wall there. He's gone up over, as you can see in the slow motion replay there, and just gets out. No, that did make contact. Even though he's not there, that Mustang under 99 car made contact.
All right, well, as we can see, Joshua Thomas is away to a 1.5 second lead at the conclusion of the first lap over Bailey Bell, who's trying his best to chase him down. Ruwalt there in third, caught in fourth, and just trying to get a bit of a look at the drivers who were actually caught up in that first lap incident. Looks like Matthew Kidd was involved in that. Robert Dennis, a lot of cars in the pits actually. Adam Neal, Benjamin Siren as well. So it looks like a good few drivers involved in that opening lap incident.
Yeah, it's a massive shunt. Really feeling bad for Neil there. Just huge impact. We were trying to squeeze it in before the race started. This race track is or was so tight. And over the years, we've seen huge accidents around this circuit over the years, and we've seen another big one here tonight. Some penalties are getting handed out there. Sorry, Ed, just over the radio. I didn't quite catch who that was, but race control
Matthew Kidd.
The blower. Matthew Kidd with the penalty.
Yeah, Matthew Kidd's got a 30-second penalty for his role in that, unfortunately. So it hasn't been a great opening lap for a couple of guys out there. Jones obviously off into the fence, and Kidd getting that black flag. But one driver who things are going well, it's quite a few. We've got the leaders away, as has always been the case. So far in this series, the leaders tend to string out and get themselves away and quite clean, and we just tend to get that carnage in the midfield, don't we? So it's a very, very difficult little almost bunch of cars. It's very difficult to break out of in the middle of the pack, and unfortunately sometimes it takes something just like a little accident or something like that to make everybody spread out and start behaving themselves.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got no surprise, Josh Thomas in a bit of a commanding spot once again out front here, doing it with relative ease, you'd say. He's got Bailey Bell behind and James Ruwalt, so all the contenders are up there. Where is our championship leader at the moment? Jamie Davis, though. It looks like he's running 10th, I think he is. So he's up 2 spots by the looks of that. So he's on the move. He's got a few Fish Esports cars in front of him at the moment. So we're looking to work through those guys, but expect to see him move forward tonight.
Yeah, it was tough for Jamie Davis, Dave, in qualifying. Just couldn't seem to get a clean lap out. A lot of cars going off the circuit, balking him a lot of the time. So Davis, I think our championship leader, sitting in 10th, only qualified 12th. So
he's all over the back of Warren right now, riding that front rear bumper at the moment.
He's giving him a good wake-up call. They're doing a Russell Lingle enforcer styles. He's
in the grass. He's gonna do well to hold it.
He's pushing a little bit too hard, but he's gathered it. I don't know how he's done that, but he's pushing mightily hard, and he's giving those 2 fishy boys in front of him a lot to think about. Actually, the guy in front of him, Paul Warwick, up 11 positions off the start, a real beneficiary of the early lap carnage. But yeah, Jamie Davis, something to look out for, and championship leader.
Sorry to talk over you, but Josh Morgan's actually gotten a black flag as well. So he's coming in to serve that right now. So he's on pit lane. So he's going to have to serve that drive-through penalty. Looks as though Hayden Harrison has also got one. So those guys coming in to serve that penalty right now. They've only got 2 laps to serve it. And so those boys coming in and serving that drive-through, and they'll be able to come back out and rejoin the race. But it's certainly put a spanner in their works that they didn't necessarily want or need.
No, that's not what you want. And just before we had a bit of carnage earlier, someone who didn't want what happened at the start was Kobe Jones, who qualified 2nd on the grid. No fault of anyone else's, just his own. Just completely misjudged the first corner and speared off into the gravel, into the tyre wall. And what looked like we were going to have a competitor for Josh Thomas tonight is already at the back of this field.
Yeah, he's going to have to fight his way through now, isn't he? Certainly you'd expect him with the pace he was showing in qualifying to make up a few of those places. But, really unfortunate because Josh Thomas, he's been really dominant in terms of the pace that he's had so far in this season. And it really looked from qualifying as if we had somebody that was really going to be able to take the fight to him toe-to-toe on pace. And sadly, that hasn't eventuated.
Just having a look at 2nd place, Bailey Bell under immense pressure from James Ruwalt, who isn't doing a Ruwalt tonight, boys. He's actually qualified high, hasn't been involved in a first lap accident, and he's actually sitting in 3rd. So hopefully I haven't commentated cursed him there and that he can stay in 3rd place, but he's putting big pressure on Bailey Bell in 2nd place. One to look out for there.
It's a big pack here we got going on with Kobe Jones and the JP car, and there's a few cars in this battle pack, all side by side. We're going to go up over the bridge side by side between the Wayne Taylors on the inside, and it's going to get tight through here. They managed to get through there. They sneak it through there, down and through the flip-flop down here now, and still side by side. Some good racing here. Now they get single file now, but good exchange there by those guys.
Yeah, certainly very, very clean at a very difficult portion of the track to run single file, let alone side by side, but managed that quite well. And now Jones all over the back of,
dives.
I believe it was overtaken there, Chris Barnes. So he's made a really clean, quick, concise, surgical sort of move down the inside of Barnes there, and he's taken that position. So we expected to find that he was going to move up some positions. So we'll see how far he gets.
And still on for second place. Just been watching this battle while I've been looking at the back there between Bell, Ruwalt and Court. Ruwalt putting the pressure on. Court pretty happy to sit in behind and wait. And as we always talk about in these races with the mandatory pit stop, when you're in a battle like this at Oran Park, which is pretty tricky track to overtake on, it's really a matter of either patience or giving it a dig up the inside. So a lot of these drivers be either thinking about sitting in there and trying to get the undercut or overcut to work, or might be a bit impatient throw up the inside.
Yeah, certainly. And I believe we've had an incident, with Newton, Alexander Newton, potentially. Well, it looks like he's on track to me. Not sure what that was about. Either way, so he's back on track anyway and has recovered.
He's just gathering up there.
Yeah, so in any event, the battle for second place. We've got Bailey Bell still sitting there in front of Ruwalt. Ruwalt had a great result on the weekend, second place in his class in the Panorama Drivers Club race, and he's going to be looking to back that up with another strong result here today. But of course, he's got Bailey Bell there holding that second place away from him at the moment, so he's going to be trying his best to get past that. He's sort of got to just fallen off the back of him ever so slightly. That could be deliberate just to cool everything down, or he could just be lacking a tiny little bit of pace or something like that. But he's certainly going to be trying to figure out what he can do strategically to get a move done here, as are many of the drivers up and down this field, to try and get a strategic play done to outwit the competition. It's every bit as important around here as outright pace, because quite often you get caught up behind somebody, you can't use that pace, and you do rely on something like a pit stop or something like that, a clever call in the pits to get you in front.
Yes, certainly. We're on board with Kobe Jones at the moment, looking forward at the bow repairs. Commodore in front of him who is that up in front of him there? Marty Hansen. So he's going to have a look. He's going to get in the draft. It's going to be hard to do it down here. You've got to get right back across the left-hand side and tend to lock that inside left wheel there. So right now he's sitting pretty and just biding his time and looking for a spot to make a move.
Yeah, it's such a...
There he goes.
He has a dig up the inside.
There he goes. And gets it done.
Beautiful move, Hansen. Quite obliging there. I was just about to say, Dave, this is such a difficult track to overtake. I watched a race here in real life back in the early 2000s, and as Kobe was about to prove me wrong there, because I said that in real life the drivers were only really able to overtake into the last corner. The first corner was a no-no and generally led to an accident, but a good move there into that corner and showing his superiority under brakes. Hansen opening the door and not fighting it too much.
Yeah, and he's right there on the back of Brian Cooper, who I actually saw snatch a break and run slightly wide a couple of laps ago, and he hasn't hit his apex this time either, which is just going to allow Jones to potentially get on throttle a little bit earlier, and I'd expect to move down here into turn one, that's for sure.
Yeah, as I think about it, I mean, we're just talking about it, it's such a hard turn, that one, to try the overtake. I think he might try and shape a move at the same corner that he overtook Hansen at. Let's have a watch here. He gets the good run out, but Cooper with a really good run out of that corner as well. Does a slight defensive move on the inside, and Jones will now...
runs a bit wide there.
He does.
And he's going to have
open the door. Great move.
Get up there too.
Yeah, I think Cooper paid the price there for just getting a little bit over-eager on the brakes. You saw a bit of tyre smoke from his inside front a couple of occasions there, and that's just, of course, when the tyre locks, it stops giving the traction, doesn't it? So that's stopped him from being able to get that turn-in done and has made it quite easy for Jones to get that move done.
So he'll be one to look out for tonight as well. Actually, the guy just overtake Cooper from 35th to 18th, so I just might mention that. He made 6th place. He's gained double the amount of spots he started the race on, so beautiful driving there as the battle for second continues. No one seems to be willing to make a move in this pack of Bell, Ruwalt, Court, all still holding station.
It's a good little battle for second there, yeah.
It's fantastic. They're driving really clean, holding each other's lines really well, as we saw with the Cooper there. No one really making any major mistakes. So this is a really cool battle to watch driving.
So after the dog leg now, we're riding on board with Ruwalt at the moment. Looking forward to Bailey Bell. And they've just got a slightly different line there. So it looks like Bailey just turns a little bit earlier than Ruwalt. It's probably going to be equaliser on the way out of there, but right now they're sitting second, third, and fourth at the moment. And Jones is, who's that? Court, sorry, Alex Court is as Ruwalt gets really deep on the brakes there. Sorry, has a bit of a look at the rear bumper there, but Alex Court's still hanging in here. We'll see if he's got anything for these boys.
He's sort of prowling on the back of this pack, Court, just waiting, hoping that Ruwalt and Bell will get together and perhaps take each other out, and he's just sniffing and waiting. Pretty clever driving from Court, if I'm honest, when you've got a pack like this, to maybe just sit at the back and see how these two guys in front of him handle the situation.
The 93 on screen of Riley Curtis having a positive run, up 12 positions into 14th at the moment, which is good to see. He's had a few bad rounds lately, got caught up in some rubbish last week, but looks fairly straight. Bit of a scar on the right rear, but trucking along nicely. And another good battle happening at the moment is Wade Michael with who's in front of him at the moment? Chris Barnes. And then there's also another guy in front of him. So they're all pretty close. Marty Hansen's in that battle too. So there's Barnes just looks like a bit loose there. So Wade might have a think about having a look at the inside.
Up on two wheels there, Barnes. That was cool. That'd be a good photo snap at the end of the race. Really pushing it hard over the curbs.
Yeah, we see Ruwalt actually come to pit lane, so he's in there for service now. So he's going to go for the undercut here, lap 13 of 36. So it's very early, but he's obviously can sense something or an advantage out of it, so he's going to go with it and have a crack.
Yeah, very early stop there by Ruwalt. I mean, what you're looking for here is no track. So we'll just see he enters the track, actually a car just off the road in front of him. Well, that'll help him out as he makes a position. But yeah, a little bit of clean air there for Ruwalt. So he'll be able to put some hot laps down now and hopefully make that overtake on Bailey Bell that we were watching earlier.
Yeah, well, obviously... Oh, geez, that was close. Jamie Davis right up behind John Schultz as he come into the pit lane. He's done well just to miss him. Good job by Jamie there. But, yeah, obviously Ruwalt was behind. He didn't feel confident enough to make the move there, or he just didn't have that extra speed to make the move, so he's going to go for the undercut. And, yeah, we'll see. Oh, he will get an advantage out of it for now, but whether the tyres come back for Bailey Bell, we'll wait to see.
Actually, we didn't talk about that at the start of the coverage, but the exit of the pit lane here, Dave, is very, very interesting. I mean, you're basically exiting onto the racing line into turn one, so the drivers tonight need to be really careful, not only entering the circuit, but those drivers that are already on the circuit need to watch for those cars coming back onto the circuit. So almost a massive incident there, and I wouldn't be surprised at the end of this night when all the pit stops occur that we don't see a bit of carnage at turn one and the pit exits.
Yeah, certainly. It's definitely a tricky one, but everybody's in the same game, so they're all, oh, geez, who's in the fence in the background there? Who was that? Ronnie Curtis has had a big moment and gone hard into the fence in the background. Just trying to get a replay up for you guys. As he comes through under the bridge, looks like it's all going well right now. He goes in through the little flip-flop through here, the right, left. And what goes wrong here? Oh, he's in the grass. He's just got too wide. There's no grip out there and hard into the tyre wall. That's not going to do any good for the steering on that Mustang.
No, not at all. A shame for Riley. He was up a lot of spots, having a good race, and just felt
put the curse on him, didn't we? Well, I did.
I know. I've got to be worried about that, Dave. I've got to stop.
Put him straight in it, mate.
We've got to stop putting praise on all these drivers. I've got to start saying they're doing a terrible job.
That's it.
And yeah, it's a shame there for Riley. But Riley's straight into the pits to get repaired. So if he takes his stop now, does a little bit of repairs, you never know. He might be able to recover fairly well there. And actually,
that's right.
when we talk about undercuts, Kobe Jones is in the pits. Just one I wanted to watch out for tonight, Dave, because he was fairly quick in qualifying. He's coming to the pits and he's exiting now. He was one I thought it might have come in a little bit earlier for the undercut. Lap 15 now of 36. So he served his stop as there's a little bit of stuff going ahead of him. But yeah, he'll be one to watch out for the remainder of the night because he had serious pace leading into this race before an incident in turn 1.
Yeah, he certainly did. It all went pear-shaped into turn 1, lap 1, but yeah, he's on a recovery as he might do the Ruwalt special, mate, you know?
Yeah, doing it. He's doing a Ruwalt. Go, Kobe.
That's it. But Riley's back out there now, and looks like they do get a fast repair. So didn't lose too much time, got it back to the pit, and he'll continue on now.
Just while we watch the action, I will just be taking note of the that battle we did have on for second. I mean, Josh Thomas is such a dominant lead. I'm really just sort of focusing in around that podium position area of Bell, Court, and Ruwalt. Bell and Court still haven't pitted, so we'll just keep an eye on when those guys come in.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
And see if Ruwalt's undercut works. So we'll keep an eye on that for those watching at home, and we'll go elsewhere in the circuit and have a look at some more battles.
Someone we haven't mentioned too much about tonight, Daniel Heddershide. He's sitting pretty in fifth at the moment, just minding his own business. He's got Jamie Davis for company not too far behind him, who is moving forward at the moment as he goes deep into turn 2 there, obviously inside front. But those guys are just quietly going about their business at the moment, and we should expect to see them up the front there not too long.
Yeah, they're both similar drivers in a way, Dave, in this championship, Heddershide and Davis. So it seemed to qualify somewhere around the latter part of the top 10 or just outside. And each week, they always seem to make their way through, seem to have really good racecraft and set their cars up really well for the race and make their moves. So both Heddershide and Davis, 8th and 12th respectively, are qualifying. Both now sit 5th and 6th, with Davis putting some pressure on Heddershide as we move towards their pit stops.
Yeah, certainly. We got Wayne or MFR and the snap on Mustang here. He's putting a bit of pressure on Steve Griffiths in front of him. So we're just going to go back to a replay of Kobe Jones making a move on Riley Curtis. By the looks of it, he's right up behind him there on the replay. You can see, guys, almost looks like he give him a little bit of a nudge straight through the flip flop, and I'd say he's just going to send it up the inside into the last turn here.
Yeah, Curtis probably still sporting a little bit of damage, and Jones on fresh tyres, one of the quicker drivers in qualifying, is going to make his way through the field. Actually, Curtis's car actually came out looking all right out of that. So
yeah, I believe they'll get a fast repair in this series.
They
so they get one fast repair. So as I said, he wouldn't have lost too much time apart from the track time that he was off the circuit.
Yes, fast repair.
Recovered up pretty good, and I mean it's not the worst time to be pitting. So just get in there and take it. Oh, gee, who's that? Is that Marty Hansen or John Schultz is in a? Oh, he's coming into the pit anyway. He was in a bit of a battle. It just looked very odd the way that car came off the last turn.
So our second and third place getters, Bailey Bell and Alex Court, are both into the pits. This is the one I wanted to watch. See if Ruwalt can get them both here with the undercut, or see if these guys.
To be honest, as well.
Well, that's right. A bit of a pit stop battle.
That these boys have got, yeah.
And we've seen that over the weeks. Some drivers running fairly high amounts of fuel at the start, so that their pit stops are shorter. So we'll have a look at what Court and Bell are running here as they enter the
James
pits.
on screen. He's coming through the dogleg now, over the flip flop there, up into the last turn on the circuit, and he will be coming down in anger down that front straight. So he should comfortably get it, but
Court's got Bell in the pits.
There we go. So that's a position change right there. And where is Ruwalt? Still coming.
Here they come.
There he is now. Oh,
he's
undercar hasn't worked as good as I thought it would. Unless a bit of an issue there or something. But the big winner is Alex Court here. He's jumped 2 spots on that.
Yeah, fantastic work by Alex Court. Jumps. Bailey Bell in the pits, and Ruwalt, as we said, we thought the undercut might have worked a little bit better, but it hasn't. He must have got caught up in a little bit of traffic, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it could be traffic or anything. He might have made a little mistake on cold tyres. Who knows? But he hasn't made the most of that opportunity.
No, so well done, Alex Court. That effectively puts him into second position.
Yeah.
Once all these pit stops filter around.
Yeah.
Just having a look here at Latsith. Lasith and Mark Duggan. Sorry, Lasith, I'm going to have to learn that surname before next week. They're having a beautiful battle here in 5th and 6th.
Yeah, both locking their teams up there.
Rubbing panels there into turn 1, and they've made some great gains sitting in 5th and 6th there. Still haven't pitted, but doing a great job in this race.
Yes, certainly, and that red and white livery, JP JINX Shifters livery, looking very hot. I like the old white and the red there, so great livery from those guys.
Yeah, looking great and getting a really good outing here
Tell you what,
tonight.
I was about to say he's on the move here up to Wayne Taylor, but Wayne Taylor's just stepped aside here and let him go. So I think Wayne is a lap down now. Yes, he definitely is. So something's going on with Wayne, unfortunately. Josh Thomas has got traffic as well. We just got him on screen. He's dealing with a bit of traffic at the moment. So it's only a small circuit. It's only a lap time of about 1:06 or so race pace. So that's what Josh has just done now, crossing the line there, 1:61, I think it was. So it's pretty busy out there.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when he came into the pitch, Josh, he had about an 8-second lead. So he'll just be hoping here that the traffic doesn't hold him up too much. Just looking at the gap back to
given the little light flash.
Yeah, he's flashing the lights. Just move out of my way.
Yeah, that's it. Come on through.
They oblige for him, which is pretty good generally in this series for Josh. The blue flags and people giving away have been really, really good to him. Something that I've been really happy with in this series generally been the blue flags, the leaders. So these guys know that he's coming up behind, and hopefully we'll see the Bow Repairs Commodore. I'm a bit biased here. If he holds him up a little bit and we see Alex Court and the boys jumping on the back of Thomas, it might make it interesting. But
certainly would.
The blue flags, beautiful moves aside. So yeah, this series has been really good in that regard.
Just checking on the progress of Kobe Jones, who's sitting currently P17, last lap of 1:48, which is pretty quick.
Yeah, one of the fastest drivers on the circuit, actually. That actually would have put him on pole position, I think, if he had done that in qualifying. So he's absolutely flying.
I'm just trying to see. I think it may even be the fastest lap of the race, maybe. Just have a look now. About a 10th off Josh Thomas for now, but yeah, certainly right up there and making use of those fresh tyres.
Now, it'd be interesting if we'd have a chat with him after the race. I think he'd be absolutely fuming at that lap 1 mistake. Turn 1, lap 1 too. It wasn't even on lap 1, the very first corner. It's such a shame because I think he could have given Josh Thomas a real run for his money.
Yeah, we just saw the white and red JINX car. We're just talking about it. He's in the fence down there. Looks of it.
We've cursed him.
He's got it going again though. So hopefully he hasn't done too much damage.
Just having such a beautiful race too.
And that's the replay there. I think I was going to say he's going again, but replay. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, you're right, David. A real shame for the Sith. I mean, he's still sitting fairly pretty, but he's having such a great race tonight. Someone who's standing out for me is one to watch, making his way through the field, and a little error there, which is a shame.
So now the shoes on the other foot here for the Ruwalt and Bailey Bell battle, sitting behind Alex Court. So now Bailey Bell's doing the chasing on Ruwalt. So we'll see if he can make the pass happen or not.
Well, Ruwalt will have the issue towards the end of this race of having some fairly worn tyres. Bailey Bell, I think, will be looking to make a move towards the end of this race. It's Court who'll be licking his lips, having jumped Ruwalt with fresher tyres. So, yeah, I think it's a matter of Ruwalt now maybe holding off Bell for the final podium position once these pit stops all filter out. We've still got Davis out there in the lead, yet to serve his stop at lap 23. So he's really going deep into this stint.
Yeah, and he's probably going to be betting on coming home with a bit of wind in his sails going that long. But I don't know. Just from what I've seen, that the tyre degradation mustn't be as bad at this track. I didn't run any laps this week, so I don't know firsthand. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's having a big effect. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, sorry, Davis did serve his stop on that lap. Sorry, my lap timing's just all reset itself when he's sitting in 7th. So He did pit it a bit late, but he's popped out with 12 laps remaining into 7th spot there. So current championship leader, Davis in 7th, Thomas. If he holds onto that lead, though, I think could potentially take the lead of this championship.
Yeah, it's going to be closer. So Mr. Davis comes back out in 6th position by the looks of that after his stop. So that's cleansed most of that top part of the field anyway. So everything's for position now.
It's actually Tyson McAvoy is probably going to be the last of our late pitters to come in. Oh no, and it's Court in 2nd place here. Who's we were just talking about blue flag drivers moving out of the way for drivers. He's getting held up a fair bit there.
Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward position there for Newton, though. It's on that kink, but he did end up getting out of the way and just sitting high and letting Court get on with it. He's got Rewalt behind him now, and he'll have to be aware of Davis. Sorry, not Davis, Bell behind him as well. As he lets Rewalt through, Bell's going to get a good run out of that, though.
It's such a tough thing when you've got a battle pack up behind you when you're being lapped, and just where you move out of the way and try and let them through. It is a bit of an art form in itself, and did fairly well there, Newton, to make sure he didn't get tangled up in what's like pretty cool.
Certainly, it's easy to make a meal of it. You think
it's
easier backing off, but yeah, you can definitely make a meal of it because you think because you're going slow, you don't put as much brake pressure in, and you can actually make an even bigger mistake doing it. So looking at Simon Chadwick now, position 6 at the moment, and who's he got behind him? So that's Davis. So
Davis.
Chadwick's made a move, or I don't know if he's made a move, but it's just fallen that way out, maybe out of the pit stop. But Chadwick's having a good night, sitting in 6th, up 9 position from starting position.
So I'm just having a look at a battle here with Kai Sloggett and Kobe Jones. Sloggett,
that's been raging on for a while, that one.
He's just got up on the grass there and almost lost the rear end going into the final corner, which has given Jones a real big sniff.
Down the inside.
Through a risky move. Gives him room on the outside. Great driving by Jones.
He's going to try and hang on out there. He just can't, because if he could have hang on out there, he'd get the inside for the next turn. But I think Jones has been working away at Sloggett for a few laps now, and I guess that part's done.
He did really well there. The risk is there that you drift out wide and car on the outside without giving him that one car length of width of space. And Jones did beautifully there to give respect to Sloggett, and that's what you like to see in the sim world. Probably didn't see it too much in the V8 Supercars in the real world driving, and the real life drivers last week at Monza and Phillip Island, but we saw it there with Jones giving some space on the overtake. Really good job.
Yeah, certainly. We're just watching back with Bailey Bell. So this battle seems like it's sort of just neutralised for now. No one's really gaining or making any moves right now, so it's just simmering. We'll see if it picks up any at all at the end, towards the end of the stint, especially for Rewalt, being that he stopped a bit earlier than these other guys. But for now, it's pretty status quo.
I saw a comment on our Facebook stream, Dave, that they were pretty annoyed or upset that this track no longer exists. One was part of our racing folklore in Australia for a number of years, but pretty cool to sit down here tonight and watch these cars go around a track that we probably all grew up watching and enjoying on the screen, which is good to see.
Yeah, certainly, and unfortunately that's just the way things go these days. They need more housing, so they sell up, build some houses on it, and unfortunately we're probably yet to see a few more tracks disappear for the same reason. But let's hope not. But yeah, corporate sellouts, mate.
Yeah, money talks.
That's it.
Weird area too for housing. I've been there before. I just couldn't believe it. But back to the action we go. Thomas enjoying a 10-second lead. Dominant driver going for his 3rd win in a row. Alex Court in 2nd place, doing a beautiful job there from 6 on the grid. Rewalt and Bell will be one to watch for later in the race as the tyres start to wear out.
Yeah, Hayden Harris has got a bit of pace. Looks like over Cooper at the moment. So although he might have just lost a bit there, but he was all over him earlier in the lap. We'll keep an honest battle and see if he can make the move. Down in 27th at the moment, so it doesn't matter where you sit. There's battles all the way through this field.
Loving the paint job on the Brian Cooper car. That's a bloody cracking livery.
Yeah, she's bedazzled. It's something, mate. Was that the
Unbelievable.
peacock or the zebra or something? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But,
it stands out.
yeah,
It's a wonderful looking car.
yeah, it does have a good effect.
One thing.
Wayne Taylor we've got on screen here. It looks like he's on the back of Ben Morris at the moment in the JINX Mustang. He's hunting him down and trying to make a pass. He's got a good run there by the looks of it, and may think about no, he's too far back there. He's just got off there. He's going to concentrate on the exit here as Morris runs slightly off the apex there. So we'll see if Wayne can get a run down this front straight and do anything with it. Yeah, maybe close enough from there. So that battle will just continue to simmer for now, and we'll see if anything evolves from it. As Ben Morris was a little bit wide, but it's more of a traditional line to go out to the curb. There's now Wayne Taylor's having a look. He actually poking a nose up there that time. He switched lanes. He's right in there. So turning into a little good battle. This one, good little battle.
We got Lasith and Marty Hansen battling it out for 16th and 17th place. Little pack there with Tyson McAvoy.
Tyson's in the back there. Look, sliding it off the corner there, using all that rubber.
Well, he's got the fresh tyres on, Tyson. He pitted fairly late, so he's going to be pretty keen to get past the two guys ahead of him that pitted much earlier than what Tyson did. So this will be one to watch out for as well. Yeah,
it's brewing this one by the looks of it. They just it just looks like it's got a recipe for goodness, mate. Especially with Tyson on them fresh. He goes wide. He's not going to recover that from there.
Oh no, he's going to hit the wall.
Oh, just kisses it. He's stalled it too by the looks of it, so he's got it fired up again though. And gases are up, bags are out, and he's away. But that made it fairly easy for Tyson then.
He's just got to make sure he gets back onto the track safely. We saw in qualifying cars going off there, re-entering the circuit and causing all sorts of grief. And we've got a car just going around the outside, but he does well to recover that. So yeah, Hansen just running wide there into turn one, and once you hit the grass or the sand there on the exit of that turn, as we saw with Jones at the start of the race, the car just loses all sorts of grip. It's like being on an oil slick, and the car just slides until you gently caress the tyre wall. But he won't have too much damage on that car. He's lost a few spots, but he will soldier on, and unlucky there for Marty Hansen.
Yeah, certainly. But Tyson is he's had a couple of good races. He's been caught up in some incidents as well, but he's a good racer. He's right up in there behind that JINX car right now, and yeah, he is a good racer. He tends to do well. So what's he sitting 16th at the moment? So he's going to move forward, remembering that he's on those fresh tyres. So he'll still make a few places from here, I believe.
Yeah, and now it's Lasith Leonage. I'm going to have a go at that. Lasith, you can let me know if I'm right or wrong with that after that. But Lasith holding off Tyson, who's got the fresher tyres, as we said. Tyson sniffing all over the back of the JP's car. Lasith had a little spin earlier, so maybe the rear end of that car isn't too well. So he's got only the 5 laps to hang on there. He loses the rear end coming out of the corner, so Tyson will be licking his lips in that battle.
Yeah, and you can just see Riley just ahead of that too. So he hasn't lost too much ground there. So what's he seeing 14th at the moment. So after that incident, he actually recovered that pretty well. So we look at John Schultz now at the moment, hunting down the Simfinity car of Daniel Hederscheid. And who's he got for company behind him? Coleman. David Coleman.
Yeah, they're holding the station. A good battle. They've got some of what we've seen tonight, David. A lot of drivers with similar pace, and unlike last week at Detroit, which was just carnage galore, we're seeing a lot of drivers this week with similar pace, holding station, and just really good nose-to-end racing. No one throwing it up the inside, dive bombing. Guys prepared to sit and be patient in packs, and been quite a professional outing this evening by a number of the drivers.
Yeah, certainly. As we're right on board with Tyson right now. But I don't know if you guys have noticed, we've also lost Edward throughout this broadcast as well. turns out he's a bit soft and he's got a little bit of a tickle in his throat, so he's disappeared. And unfortunately, he will take no further part in tonight's broadcast.
I gave him a bit of track trivia before the event started. I think I threw.
Yeah, that's it. I think when he heard you were ready for some trivia, mate,
he's given up. He's gone home. So we didn't even get Ed's track trivia this week.
No, that's what I was going to say, mate. It sounded like a stitch up, so he's out of here.
Might have to ask. I might just get him to text it through to us. We'll see if we can squeeze it in before the night's out. As we get back to the racing, Josh Thomas still holding a comfortable lead with only a few laps remaining, looking very likely winning his third race in a row. That battle for second, third, and fourth, which has been raging for 34 laps, is still nose to tail. Alex Court looking quite pretty in second place. It's Ruwalt we had to watch out for. Yeah, I know. I just saw that.
Yeah, he's right over the stiff right now. As he was actually making ground on right in front of him, but now he's going to have to keep an eye on his mirrors. Watch out for Tyson.
He's caught up to the back of Riley Curtis extremely quickly. Yeah,
he had a bit of an ordinary run out there, Riley, but go to the battle at the front. We're just looking at Alex Court right now. It's got Rewalt and Bell still sitting in there. Nothing's really changed here, so all drivers doing a good job here. They're equally fast, so what are we, lap 35, working lap 35 or 36, so this one's going by pretty quick, so we're not far from...
Oh, no! I've just been watching Lasith and Tyson McAvoy, sorry, Dave, in that battle, and he's... he gave Riley Curtis a nudge from behind and
really?
Curtis for a bump and run. Then lost it himself, and Tyson McAvoy has come around the outside, and Lasith has put it on the grass and almost taken him out, but did enough to not smash into the side and T-bone Tyson McAvoy there. So that one sorted itself out. Tyson's got through, and now Tyson will be all over the back of Riley Curtis.
Yeah, there you go. You can't say he wasn't having a go, though, so there's no point sitting here and second guessing. Just have a crack. It's going to work for you, or it's not.
That's right. Like, Lasith actually got a teammate behind him now in the JP cars. JINX Shifter Commodore, the JINX Shifter Mustang, going to battle it out in these last couple of laps. Only 2 laps remaining. As McAvoy overtakes Riley Curtis quite easily. Curtis letting McAvoy through without any fight at all.
Yeah, those guys have raced each other before, so they know each other fairly well too. So, and Riley probably knows he's on those older tyres.
So we head to the second spot, Dave. What have we got?
Yeah. We've got James coming on to the last lap, so he's got one more lap to do this. So he's going to get, if he can, he's made a little bit of ground on Alex Court by the looks of it. Still probably not close enough yet to be making a move, but this is his only shot now, so he's got to try and make something happen this lap. And it looks like there's a bit of traffic in front as well, so interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, well, half lap remaining and such a hard track to overtake. The only real option he's got is the last corner, so we might have to have a look at that. Surprising that he's caught, Alex Court, because his tyres were about 8 laps older, but he's doing a fantastic job here, James Ruwalt, all over the back of Alex Court. Alex Court's got a little bit of traffic in front of him as well to deal with as we head into the final corner. He's lost a bit of the rear end there, Alex. Traffic moves out of the way. Ruwalt all over the grass. He has to have a dig up the inside if he's going to do it.
It's going to go. Oh, gee, that was close, man. And Josh Thomas has actually crossed the line in the meantime. So well done to him. And these boys here are having a mammoth battle coming to the line. And good thing they didn't touch. They kept it all clean. But take nothing away from Josh Thomas. Another victory in the JINX Super2 series here. He's doing quite well at the moment.
Yeah, another win for Josh Thomas, really staking the claim now, surely for the championship. I think that might put him up, although Davis in 6th position.
Yeah, consistent.
There, so we'll have
Jamie's been very consistent.
He has. And we'll check those championship points in a minute. But a win for Josh Thomas. Alex Court in 2nd place. James Ruwalt 3rd. We'll chat to those drivers in a minute. Be interesting to have a chat to James and Alex in regards to their battle there at the end. Bailey Bell in 4th place. Brody Scott in 5th place there. Jamie Davis, championship leader, currently in 6th. We'll have to check those points in a minute. Daniel Hederscheid, 7th. John Schultz, 8th. Dave Coleman, 9th. And Kobe Jones, after that, starting 2nd on the grid, crashing.
Yes, he's had a good fight back, Jones.
Top 10. So
yeah, certainly. Good recovery. I wasn't sure if he was going to get out of that fence, mate. He went in there at 8 knots.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite a big shunt, actually. I'd be interested to hear from him. I think our broadcaster said once we've listened to the podium spots. We might get Kobe Jones up there just to talk through that incident and his fight back through the field. So the car's doing their cool down lap, heading into the pits. Another interesting race, Dave. Bit different to last week.
Yeah, we've got the race results up there on screen for you guys now. So obviously Josh Thomas, Alex Court, James Rewalt running out your podium. Bailey Bell, Brody Scott, Jamie Davis, 6th. Daniel Heddershield, 7th, sorry. John Schultz, Davis Coleman, Kobe Jones, your top 10. Then after that, you got Kai Sloggett, Mark Duggan, Jonathan Band, Tyson McAvoy, Lachange. I'm going to take a punt on that. Ryder Curtis, 16th. Wade Michael, Wayne Taylor running at 18th. And scrolling through, Ben Morris, 19th. Marty Hanson, 20th. Steve Griffiths, 21. Gilbert, Whiting, Harrison, Chadwick, 25th. Cooper Morgan, Gaffer. Tony Gaffer had a quiet night tonight. He's usually in there. He's had a bit of a quiet one. I saw him going to the pit earlier in the race, so he's down 2 laps at the end of that. But yeah, not sure what happened there. Alexander Newton, I should say, in 29th. Christensen, 30th. Barnes, Siren, Neil, Dennis, Warwick, Kidd, Craig Schutz, and Darren Caldwell running out the top 38, I believe that was.
Thanks, Dave. Good job, mate. A lot of names there to get through. You did a great job.
Just rumble it through away.
Just hearing the race control congratulating the drivers on what's probably been the cleanest race of the year so far, which you like to see. And as the races roll on, the drivers improving their skill and getting to know one another as well is a big thing, I think, with sim racing, knowing who you can battle with, who you can't, and who you can give a bit of respect to and so forth. So really cool to see, really clean race. And we will get a couple of our drivers up.
Yeah, I can see Josh is there, William Ranks, our race winner. Him up here, and I'll let you do the honours if you like, Matt.
Josh Thomas, Matt Andrews here, mate. Another win, another fantastic drive. Looked fairly comfortable for you tonight, mate.
Yeah, it was. It's a bit of a stressful track, that one. There was a lot going on in such a short space, and there was a bit of traffic. But yeah, apart from that, it was pretty smooth sailing, which was nice.
Looked like you had a challenger on your hands here in qualifying. Kobe Jones only a 10th off your time. What happened into turn 1 there? Was there a touch, or did he just run wide?
Yeah, I think he's new to the series. I haven't seen him before, but either way, he was very quick. And into turn 1, I didn't have any contact onto my screen.
Okay.
Yeah, it seemed like he ran off the road. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like he had to get a bit defensive there on the run down to turn 1. Wasn't the great start, maybe, was it?
Yeah, look, I'm not renowned for the starts in these supercars. They're difficult, so
they're not easy to get off the line.
Yeah, I'll keep working on that. Yeah, apart from that, it wasn't bad.
No, mate, fantastic effort, mate. I think that's 3 in a row for you now, which I think we said last week it should put you in the lead of the championship with Davis now in 6. We'll have to try and get those points up, surely, but it's turning into a really close title.
Can confirm that now.
You got him.
Josh is, by the looks of it, in the lead on the championship status at the moment. So Josh taking the lead on 936 points, with Jamie Davis dropping to second on 924, and then James Rewalt in third with 900 points.
So there you go, Josh. You just got to hold the lead of the championship now for the rest of the campaign. No pressure.
No, it should be easy, shouldn't it?
Mate, before we let you go, any shout-outs, mate? Anyone your sponsors got to thank, mate?
Again, all the Fishy boys, Michael Whiting for running the team, and all the boys for tonight for cooperating with all the blue flags and race control. It was good fun, and again, another good race. So thanks, fellas.
Thanks, Josh. Well done, mate. Congratulations. All right, Dave, I'll let you do the honours.
We have it.
Oh, no, we don't have Alex up yet.
No, we don't have Alex, unfortunately, but we've got Bailey in there. He's sitting there patiently. We might as well bring him in, as I can't see Alex or Reward at the moment, so we might as well bring Bailey in. He did have a good battle there, and he was sitting, what was he, third? No, sorry, he was second for a lot of that with Reward behind him, so I'll drag him up, and we'll have a chat to Bailey, mate. P4 tonight, mate. You were running up there in second for the most part of that at the start, but just got done in the pit lane, unfortunately, mate.
Yeah, no, they definitely got me in the pit lane. I think I just ran my numbers wrong and put too much fuel in it. But at the end of the day, it was an awesome race, and I'm stoked to be back at the front.
Yeah, certainly, and it was a good battle between you and James Ruwalt at the start of that race, mate. And as you said, he went for an undercut on you guys, and then you came in with Court. And yeah, it's not much in fuel. You can lose a bit of time, but other than that, mate, it was a pretty good battle out there.
Yeah, no, especially when we came back out on the track and James threw past. We had to thread the needle there, but we all stayed on the track, so it was good.
Yeah, we were keeping an eye on that, actually. We were watching to see how the undercut would work, and it didn't work as good as we thought it would for James. So, yeah, he come flying up your inside there, and you all managed to keep going. And then right at the end there on that last lap, bit of lap traffic to make it exciting coming to the line.
Yeah, no, that definitely kept us on our toes, that race. But I'd just like to give a huge shout out to Tim Crowley for this team and getting us in this series. And it's been so awesome to have the boys up the front again. So, yeah, cheers.
Well done, mate. Great job.
Yeah, well done, Bailey. And that's Bailey for now. I think we've got Alex Court in there, so we can get our second place getter up. We'll drag him in, mate. And yeah, if you want to have a chat with him there, Matt.
Alex Court, Matt Andrews here, mate. Well done on a second place. I think that's your best result so far this championship. You must be pumped.
I'm left for words, boys.
Great job, mate. It looked like you made a masterstroke in the pit stops there to jump both Ruwalt and Bell. Can you talk us through that?
Yeah, so I was watching when they were pitting and yeah, just got the jump on Bailey and yeah, that's about that.
It was a good battle between the three of you guys. You seem to be nose to tail for the majority of the race. We were commenting in the booth that it seemed this week that everyone was really respectful out there, and it must be fun battling against the likes of a Bell or a Ruwalt who can show you a bit of room, because Ruwalt at that last corner on that last lap potentially could have speared you off the track, but there was a lot of respect shown out there during that battle.
Yeah, towards the end, I was, let's put it this way, not breathing very much because I just wanted to bring it home in P2, and yeah, that last corner, I was, yeah,
It looked like he was going to give it a go.
Everything was crossed, guys. Yeah.
Mate, you deserve a fantastic drive. Before we let you go, mate, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Firstly, all the boys at JP Simshed Racing. They've been fantastic over the last couple of weeks since I've joined them. Secondly, JP, and can't think of the other guy who was helping me out, but with my race starts,
but thank you
paid off.
Anyway.
So, yeah, no, thanks everyone, and thanks for broadcasting. Yeah.
Thanks, Alex. Great job, mate.
Yeah,
no,
good job
thanks,
tonight.
boys.
Well done.
Thanks, guys.
There you have it. That's Alex, your second place getter tonight, moving up from sixth position. Now we've got James here, so we'll drag James in for a chat. We started third and finished third. A little bit disappointed we didn't see him have his little James Ruwalt special from the back after an early incident, but James, no, he's disappeared.
Oh, he's not happy with that comment.
No,
Dave, he's left the interview room.
He said, "If I hear the Ruwalt special, I'm out of there." No, he's back now. James, you got us?
Yes, I'm here. How are you?
Hey, mate, how you doing, mate? P3 tonight. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, it was full on. That was tiring. I'm sweating after that one. Yeah, just had to really hit my marks and make sure every lap was spot on. You make a mistake and you just you'll lose a position straight away. So, yeah, it was really intense.
Yeah, 100%, mate. We were watching it. We kept a good eye on your battle, as a matter of fact. And yeah, if you miss your apexes, you're going to lose time. So you top, second, third, and fourth were pretty much all over each other for that whole race there. So
that's for sure.
But you went for the early stop. Did it work as you would think it would work, or did you have some trouble or something at some point?
Yeah, I went for my normal undercut, as I seem to find myself doing every week. But yeah, it worked in terms of getting over Bailey Bell, but I think Alex Court undercut us both. So that's well done to him.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
It was very interesting to see how it was going to work out, because we did see you come in early, and I thought you would have had a bigger effect on the new tyres being the undercut, and you came out right on top of Bailey Bell, and you sort of thread the needle through there in that kink there, and Alex actually jumped Bailey in the pit stop, so he just took a little bit less fuel, I believe, and that's what got him that track position. But other than that, a good race in the first part with Bailey, where you were hunting Bailey, and then obviously he was hunting you at the end there.
Yeah, exactly. It was like I said before, you couldn't make a mistake. Any of those three that we were battling with. So, yeah, and luckily I didn't take out Alex on the last turn there because I saw the gap and I went for it.
I was about to say, mate, you got nice and tight there and juicy in that last turn, but yeah, you guys managed to keep it together and run to the flag untouched. But, mate, before we let you go, any shout-outs or sponsors, mate?
Yeah, shout out to Pace Syndicate. Great team to be a part of, really enjoying it, and shout out to everyone at home watching.
Beautiful, there you go. James Ruolt, P3 for tonight.
Thanks, boys.
Cheers, mate.
I think we've got someone I was pretty keen to chat to, Dave, in Kobe Jones up in the booth. Someone I wanted to chat to after qualifying so well and dealing with an early incident. Kobe, are you there, mate? What happened there at the first corner?
Well, going into turn one, I was just following Josh Thomas, and then going into the corner in the braking zone, I had to call car left, so decided to leave a bit of room and didn't end very well.
No, I feel for you, mate. We were commentating after qualifying your pace because Josh Thomas, who's been fairly dominant in the last few races, looked like he had a fairly strong competitor on your hands in yourself, and it was a bit shattering. And to see you drift off in turn one there, I imagine you were pretty annoyed.
Oh, definitely. I was looking. I had two plans going into the race, and I couldn't execute either of them. So pretty annoyed at that.
Oh, there you go.
Great job, though. Yeah, well, you went to your plan A and your plan B didn't happen, but you went to plan G, and
yeah, you know that.
and you worked your way through from the back of the pack, mate. It looked like good fun though in that regard.
Yeah, just trying to stay patient, picking my way through the traffic, and then when I pitted, came out behind the leaders, I was getting a bit worried because if a safety car came out, it probably wasn't looking to be in the right spot. So lucky it didn't come out then, but then yeah, in the end, finally got up to 10th. Top 10's all right, but then yeah, that last move on Dave Coleman, I apologise for hitting him on the side there. But yeah, ended up being an all right race, but still not happy with it.
Well, I'm sure you'll be back and ready to rumble next week, mate, and we look forward to seeing if you can take the fight up to Josh Thomas.
Yeah, looking to do that. Thanks, guys.
Before you go, mate, is there anyone you like to while you're up here?
Just shout out sponsors, JINX Shifters, Abruzzi, Who's Convelled, VR Cover, all those guys, they all do great, and I'm glad they're on the car.
Fantastic, Kobe. Looking forward to watching you battle up the front next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Well, there you have it. That's another round in the books for the JP, the Sim. What is it? The JINX. Sorry, the JINX series. Getting carried away with the JP there, but the JINX series, JINX Super2 series, and another eventful night. Good battles up and down the field there. Any final thoughts, mate, or what?
Yeah, as I said earlier, I think it was a great race from the drivers. I think we're seeing each week the drivers getting better and better. I mean, this is a Super 2. It's a development category, and the drivers tonight really displayed good courtesy. I felt out there for what I thought was going to be a pretty tricky track. Before we go, I think I'll just do my weekly thank you to the race control. I mean, we've got, there's 7 people there. I don't know if the people know at home. 7 people in that race control giving up their time. JP behind the cameras here doing the broadcast. So thank you to those people. It's really cool being able to do this each Tuesday night and have a bit of fun, which is all about. But yeah, looking forward to next week and seeing this pretty close championship. Phillip Island, I believe, next week as well. So I look forward to Phillip Island and seeing how this championship unfolds as we move forward. But yeah, any final thoughts to you, Dave?
Mate, not really, mate. Apart from Phillip Island, it's a good track. It's a real racers track, that one. And anyone that likes any sort of racing really enjoys getting onto that circuit. So I'm looking forward to that round, and we'll be here, mate. And mate, you brought us in. You might as well take us out.
Well, hopefully Ed recovers from his illness that he's picked up halfway through the call. He does have a bit of trivia here. I'm not going next week. He did actually text it through, so I'm glad you're watching there, Ed. Hope you get better, mate. But to all those watching, have a fantastic week. Should be an interesting night tomorrow night with real life Supercar drivers. I'm looking forward to that. So all of you watching, we'll see you next week at Phillip Island. Goodbye.